Hello? Do you like horror games? Do you like houses from horror games that do not inherently look like they're from anything horror related? They're just a house? Because, you gotta be in houses. I mean, you could be in a tent for a horror movie as well, or game, but, houses exist. Anyway, hi. I'm Mushroom2. Today I am building a house from a horror game, if you didn't suspect already. I'm building the house from Fears to Fathom, Episode 1, Home Alone, which I have played recently, and if you are like me and also enjoy the horror games, I have a whole other YouTube channel you may like if you want to consider checking that out. Otherwise, if you just here to build, this is not like other houses I've built from horror games where there's, the normal house part and then the definitely a horror location part. This one's all normal house. For like a smidge of context, the game is literally, that episode of Fears to Fathom is literally just teenager home alone, and there's a bit of a weirdo outside trying to break in. Like, there's no supernatural things, there's no weird things with the house. I tell you this to be like, no sarcasm. Genuinely just a normal family house. It's a nice spacious 2-bedroom house that I have questions for the designer of. Not in like the game dev way, because I get it, you're just trying to make a house that works. The house is but a background to the purpose. But just, the theoretical in-world architect of the house, I just have a couple of questions for. Just a couple. I spent way too long looking for those chairs. Sorry, I wasn't judging myself at all. You can't prove anything. I feel like I don't normally think about the outdoor furniture that much, but I feel like we could do with a couple more basic options. Like, something like those chairs, but in fully wood. Not park bench-esque chair, but actual just sit outside chair. I've taken some creative liberties with the house, one of which will answer the question that you're going to find yourself asking once we get onto the interior, and you're going to wonder that, will I acknowledge the elephant in the room? But you're just going to have to wait and see. And then some creative liberties with maybe the size of planted potters and whatnot, and some of it is just, if you've tried to recreate anything in The Sims, there's the difference in, the items and the styles, and maybe there isn't quite something that perfectly matches, or maybe you find something that looks right, but it doesn't have a good swatch. Like, it's the right shape, style, whatever, but not the right color. So many little things. Which also brings me to, I wish we could have, more old items, and I don't mean, vintage electronics, as much as a few more would always be welcome, but in terms of the actual wallpapers and flooring, maybe not flooring, I don't know, walls, actual furniture, sofa and stuff, I feel like we have a few things that are older styles, but not, they're either very, very specific older styles, or they're, I don't know. The summary, it could really just be, Sims player wishes we had even more items to scroll through in build and buy mode. Just, whenever you're recreating something and you can tell it has an older style of furniture, and you're just like, oh, okay, we'll see what we have. Like, The Sims 3 had the 70s, 80s, 90s pack with more, creative sim. Could we have that, but build mode? I know, there's bits and pieces in there, but can I just have a lot? Even though, to be fair, I don't know if, actually, before I get on that side tangent, because just watching me build this back, yeah, I really started the frame. Again, for context, if you play this game, you can't really see the outside very well. You can go outside the house a little bit, but there's an invisible wall. So I kind of just started building it with like, okay, here's what I can see of the front of the house. And then as I went in the door, I was like, okay, build a room. And I was like, it'll slowly take shape. I don't know, I feel watching it, I'm like, whoa, this is a weird way to do it. But it's, because I'm used to doing things with more like, okay, this is the whole floor plan. And then this is the rooms, whereas this feels very much more like taking the individual little Lego pieces one by one and just trusting that they will form what you're aiming for in time. Fair warning, I am slightly sleepy as I recorded this, but I am a stubborn, determined little shit. I say recording this at nearly 11:15, being like, no, I am getting it up on this Sunday, okay? Because even though I don't never actually say it's Speed Build Sundays, in my head, it has to be Sundays. So, happy October. I wanted to get up a little bit of a horror-themed build to kick things off. Optimistically kick things off. Before I go on that tangent, I want to circle back around to my initial tangent that I now barely remember. Oh yeah, build mode. I don't know if it's just because my debug is all there, but I am starting to get a little bit overwhelmed scrolling through some of the categories. Hoping it's a sizable bit because debug is all blah 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 blah, because I can never be bothered to adjust that every time that I have to turn off my mods and organized debug is not there, being the star that it is. Although genuinely the decorations, I think they need subcategories for the decorations, both in terms of wall art. I think we need a posters subsection and a painting subsection, and then a miscellaneous for the random wall decals and height charts and all those random things. And also the clutter and stuff. I feel like it needs to be cluttered by, I don't know, either by room, by theme, the kind of subcategory system. Because I think it's just a little bit overwhelming to try to go through and be all of these things. But yes. What was the other tangent I was gonna go? Oh yes. Also, this fridge, not even this fridge. The fridge is good. The fridge is actually very close shape, style-wise, in terms of big main fridge bit, top little freezery bit, handles. But this kitchen, it should be the lighter color of the cabinet, wood, is kind of close, but it should be a darker orangey brown, whatever color to the countertop, but I wasn't finding something that meshed well enough, so if you've seen the house, you know what I'm talking about, you know what it should be. And if you haven't, then this means nothing to you, and you can continue to be no, everything's fine. Put down your perfectionistic tendencies. That had another tangent in my... Oh yes, again, context for... This game is set in the evening into night, and not a lot of the lights are all in the house. So a lot of the rooms are quite dark, so there's some things that I'm genuinely unsure. It might have been brown, it might have been dark green, it could have been dark blue. There's a little bit of ambiguous color potential. So, I interpreted what I could interpret. I tried. Okay, October and Halloweenish, spooky, Spooktober is the word I'm trying to say, Spooktober-esque plans. I say esque, what is the month not really October? Do we not care about Halloween? These things are both not true. Oh, I really didn't. Those, the extractor, stovetop extractor things. I knew I wanted one in the right shape. The ones that were in the right shape didn't feel right, and I was ah. Raise your hand if you've ever been personally victimized by the extensive and yet somehow still limiting options in The Sims 4. But yeah, I have a bunch of, I have a few ideas for different builds for October because I know I have slightly fell off the YouTube wagon. Both here and on the other channel. Life gonna life, and then, whenever life is lifed, and then life is technically not lifing as lifily, but you still sort of spinning like a tumbleweed trying to get yourself back on track. Yeah. Which is the nice and vague way of trying to find that line of not completely oversharing on the internet, but also not just going la la la, everything is fine, but probably still doing that to a slight extent, but hey, we're working on it. So this is obviously a build recreating a house from a horror game, which I thought was a nice little first little October thing. I have a couple of ideas for some different for one, I have a very specific idea for if I can make a custom venue do what I hope it can do, then I may have a Halloween-y custom venue idea. I also have a little I want to build it's a Halloween haunted-esque scene, like it's a piece of art, and I want to see if I can build in The Sims inspired from that. And I swear I have another idea, but it's a little bit more ambitious. So I'm like, if I even do this, I don't know if it's gonna, I can maybe it'll still be October, maybe not. I intend to be optimistic about it, but I'm just being realistic about how long bigger Sims ideas usually end up taking, especially when you want to do other things, both here and elsewhere. Which again, it's an idea I've had before that I want to do, but it would be a slightly bigger build. Might end up okay, because I feel like once I got a few rooms down, there'd be a little bit of not copy and paste, but could copy, minorly adjust. Like, it would be a very somewhat repetitive, but I'm trying to just not give the idea away. But since we have custom venues now, I'm thinking maybe I could make it like truly functional in a beautiful way. So I must explore, because honestly I haven't messed around with custom venues yet. I've played a tiny bit of gameplay wise in Sims, which has mostly been, well, not even mostly exploring the imaginary friend. It's been catching up on the current event, and then my Sim just brought their imaginary friend to life the last time I was playing. So I went, ooh, playground equipment, ooh, archery competition, hunted around for jellyfish in Jellyfish Junction. Very much like the little jellyfish light. Like, you can see it in the park area in the neighborhood, and it's in build mode, oddly enough. Still waiting to see the nice shiny swarm school of goldfish. Goldfish? Oh boy, jellyfish. They may glitter like gold, but they are not the goldfish. So I'm very excited for that. I've given my Sims outfits with the little jellyfish hat to be like, whenever the jellyfish come, we're going to go say hi and be like, hello, fellow jellyfish. But yes, this ramble was to be like, I have not done a lot with Adventure Awaits. But we'll get there. I feel like, whenever you're just tired, but you keep having ideas and you're low-key excited about them. Because I have ideas for things. I might dip my little toes back into trying maybe something resembling a Let's Play, which I think I would like to do. Also, do you like my living room? I was very happy the sectional sofa had the little piece that didn't have a back, because I don't think the longer loungy bit of it quite matched with what that room looks like. Also, the weird kind of not archway bits in the wall. I accept upstairs an archway, but down here I don't think it would have made sense because it's a bigger gap in the, between the walls. without any posts or archway frames. But it's literally just the wall, but with a curved cutout. You know, some would call it an archway, but there's no frame or anything. It's all just the wall in game. Where was I? All of my trains of thought are just going at once. But they're not waiting. I'm hopping back and forth like, wait, which train am I on? Where was the other one? Where am I going? What was my destination? Oh yeah, other ideas and excitement. And let's play, yeah. So, I say dip my toes back in again, because technically a long time ago, not on this channel, I tried to do a let's play, and I mean, I don't even remember I made more than 10 episodes. No way, I've tried to do a let's play twice. The very first time, because I didn't really trust either to fully keep my attention, I did a sort of merge of the 100 Baby Challenge and the Black Widow Challenge. And it was okay. I don't really remember it in terms of, you know, video quality and stuff, so I don't know how good that was. But as an idea, you know, it was okay. I feel like it's chill. I don't know if that made more than 10 videos before I was just like, I'm bored. Because I respect people that do the 100 Baby Challenge, because having multiple babies, never mind having to find the multiple Sims to have the multiple babies with, I'm like, I don't have the patience for that. I barely have the patience to do it once. And I can only imagine how much harder it is these days, you know, with infants being a thing. Oh boy. And then the other forgotten, not on this channel, I did do a let's play that was like, it wasn't challenge based. I think it was, I wonder if it was near the time of when University came out, because I had a Sims, like, family, and I had a little storyline for the family, and there was, like, the childhood best friend and stuff, and they went to uni, and I think I got them through uni. And then they moved to San Myshuno, and I think after that, that's where I sort of dropped off. So I would like to, I have some ideas for some Sims to have some stories, but I feel like I want to do a challenge to sort of be my trial run, to sort of get into doing a let's play, because, well, building's great, because building, it doesn't matter if I am feeling the least unsociable social I've ever felt. I can just build it, narrate it whenever I have a bit more social energy, rambling energy, a little bit of editing, upload. Let's play. I feel like I gotta be more switched on. I said this like I don't get, but I mean, you have to be switched on to build, because the hyper focus is real. But you know what I mean. There's a difference there. How much it is inherently because of the different gameplay styles of build versus live mode, versus the fact that I have spent more time building than ever trying to make let's play. So of course I'm like, whew, scary. But a challenge would give me a structure, give me something to work with, have a bit of trial and error, see maybe things that I might improve upon for the idea that is more like my own little thing. Honestly, I'm kind of into little Simsies. Is it just the veggie legacy? I don't know, that or the not so berry. I'm like, something like that. But otherwise, I'm tempted to make my own little couple of Sims and not do a challenge with them, but sort of, I'm in two minds whether to have it be they go through every single pack, content-wise, and, like, you know, try to explore the entire game, which I think would be very good for me, because it's been, you know, just a few years of The Sims. There are packs that I have not touched some of the content in a long time that I probably don't remember half of the little details for. There's some packs that are maybe newer that I haven't fully explored, like I still haven't explored all of the Enchanted by Nature stuff. So having, like, not the forced, but, you know, the game plan be like, these two Sims, exploring pack by pack. And I have the idea for who these Sims are, and I feel like they're definitely the kind of Sims that would hold my attention, because they're because of who and what they're based on. That not that sentence sounds less parasocially weird and more, oh yeah, that tracks once you know the idea. Not based on real people. Disclaimer. Do I need a disclaimer? Does anyone care? Am I overthinking? Maybe. Except I feel like I'm underthinking, but you know, whenever you think you're underthinking and you sort of overthink the underthinking to compensate for it. This room annoyed me for a bit, because I was like, the TV and the bed are clearly central, like lined up with each other, and I've said it in every other video I've ever built, like something based on something else. Sim Squares and figuring out space, and it's fun. Also, because we're like 20 minutes in, this is your your reminder to hydrate if you require one. Because, well, I need it because I'm like, oh no. Dry mouth. Oh no. You know, I'm not even sure what no way, I think I do know what I'm drinking. I got a mystery drink. Not like in, you know, it didn't come in a little mystery box with question marks. But whenever you kindly ask your partner to get you a drink, just anything you like from the kitchen, and they come back with your nice little knockoff Stanley cup. Listen, it was Nightmare Before Christmas themed. I needed it. Filled with something. It's a fun mystery. A fun mystery. Oh yeah, I did remember the light switches. Because the weird thing is, right? Because I went back through this house to double check. There does not seem to be any light switches downstairs. Which, considering there's not that many lights downstairs, I'm like, you know what? Okay, fair. Who was gonna notice? Only those of us scrutinizing every single little corner to build it in The Sims. Just us, you know? We could have Metal Cup ASMR. Okay, we won't. Also, could we have a proper corner desk? Or like 3? In different styles? Whilst I enjoy getting to feel mildly creative, trying to mishmash a couple of desks to vaguely go together, it would be nice. It would be nice to have true corner desks. You know, maybe, you know, now they've done sectional sofas, sectional playgrounds, bunk beds, maybe corner desks will get there. Maybe. But let's not think too much about the future of The Sims right now. I don't have the I don't have the emotional capacity. I'm mildly concerned and cautiously optimistic would be too strong a word. Cautiously neutral that perhaps nothing will change because nothing needs to change because The Sims makes money. And that is a... But then you have to snowball into the whole, like... It's all just a big pile of yuck, and I'm both not gonna ramble on about it because I'm not a little Simsy, okay? I don't have eloquent things to say, plus we all either know or will see in betterly worded content to know what's going on. I just want to hope for the best. Hey, look, little hamper. I do look forward to, if I ever actually play in this house, replacing that with a laundry day hamper and figuring out where on earth I'm shoving. Actually, no, I know where I would shove the washing machine. I could make room in the kitchen, but I'd probably shove it in the random hallway beside the kitchen because why not? Why not? Also, you know how I said earlier about questions for like the theoretical architect? The 2 doors leading outside being very close together. I understand that one technically goes to the nice, relaxing, chill, very, very aesthetically pleasing with the light setup backyard area, and the other goes direct to like the driveway with the car. I understand, but at the same time, these doors are very close to being right beside each other. I feel like, you know, you could take a few steps around the corner of the house, you'd be fine. You'd be fine. Who needs two back? Well, I mean, I know technically it'd be a back door and a side door, but who needs that many doors? Maybe I build a house that's only doors. Only doors. Hey, wait, you know how we got a fan with... Was that enchanted by nature, or was it something before it? Or is it... No, is it from the workshop kit? Or was there one in both? The, like, tall, freestanding, like, fan. But yeah, I'm just gonna make the really, really easy joke of my Sims could open a shop that sells fans called Only Fans. I'd also like more wardrobes, but I'm not doing a third version of the why can't we have more variety with all of our variety. Also, the random little mats around this house. I was like, interesting. It makes it feel like every bedroom has a little personal welcome mat, which is a kind of a nice touch in making everything feel like, you know, your room is your home. Which, you know, for the teen is probably true. Probably true. This makes more sense if you are someone who's played this game, but I'm sorry, for being a teenager home alone, they spent way more time downstairs. Now, maybe I'm just a, like, small rodent, must stay curled up in burrow at all times, inclined individual. But no. Me home alone would be like, okay, I may eventually go down for some food once I am forced to be like, yes, I have needs that I must actually not ignore. But otherwise, no. The time was all upstairs. You just got to enjoy the peace and quiet of not hearing anybody else. That, and you know, there's nothing quite like being home alone as it gets dark while all the lights are off and you're just like, heh. And use the fans. I really like the backyard for this house. I feel like it hits a nice in-between of being simple, but like feeling plentiful. But oh boy, did I have fun trying to make there's a swimming pool, and it's not a typical, you know, rectangular swimming pool. So I was trying to use the different pool shape tools to be like, sort of, kind of. And I mean, I think I did okay, but you know how it be sometimes. You know how it be. I didn't yawn, you can't prove nothing. This is like whenever you're playing The Sims and you're just like, one more little thing. One more little sim event. One more little sim day. But I'm getting it with, yes, I can totally finish my Sims build and then narrate the whole thing all in this evening. Which, I mean, time-wise, absolutely, but energy-wise, now I'm like, phew. Well, not even like, phew. I'm just a little bit aware that I might just go lie down after this instead of playing the game. Although I am trying to keep updating my mods because I really want to play with my mods again. That in the like process of me trying to keep up to date with my mods, I've come across other mods. Like there's one for letting kids walk the dogs. I'm very excited for that because I'm like, why can the kids not walk the dogs? That feels like a very typical kids can do activity. I can't speak from experience because I was not the resident dog walker, but I'm also a tiny bean that was a very tiny bean as a child. And we had some very enthusiastic German Shepherds. So I'm pretty sure if I had ever tried to walk them, I mean, I'm sure one of us would have came back eventually after they'd had a grand adventure and I'd been dragged through several hedges, you know. But, you know, as a nice little Sims idea, yeah, let the kids walk the dogs. Let the kids walk the dogs. On the topic of pets, because obviously, you want to hear about our cat. No, but like, so at the end of September, we've officially had her for 3 months, which is supposed to be whenever, like, a new cat will be feeling, you know, pretty damn comfy. Although she's been pretty damn comfy from the get-go, but she's obviously gotten even comfier. But we've entered the phase where she's getting a little too comfy with trying to get food. And also trying to climb on the TV. She didn't used to, but now there's like a speaker beside the TV, and now she sits up on that, which is kind of okay. It's a little unideal, but it can work. But depending what's on the screen, she started trying to climb, like, you know, step up on top of the TV, and we're kind of like, should we anchor this thing? Like, do we super glue it to the unit it stood on? I don't know. Not that worried, because she only goes for certain things, like whenever there's, say, something in a game moving. So it's kind of not whenever unattended, so, like, we're kind of okay. But, oh boy. And then the food thing. She's still, I think, very polite around food for, both me having grown up with dogs, and then also my boyfriend's, like, family cat used to be very, like, she'd climb on top of you and just take something off your plate if you didn't stop her immediately. Like, there was no considerations, she was doing it. Our cat sits and watches and then jumps up and sits and watches and slowly gets closer. But the further you get through your food, eventually she starts slowly reaching a little paw out. Usually towards chicken, but there was one occasion where she seemed interested in a chip. And I don't know, like, is she trying to drag it off? Is she trying to politely ask for that one? Because it's not like she's, you know, grabbing it with her little adorable face and going nom nom. But yeah, adventures of being a first-time cat owner are fun. But she's cute. She's starting to sleep on me more at night, which may also be in part because it's getting colder, but I'm not complaining. Except whenever I really have to pee and then she lies on you, but eh. House nice. I feel like it has a lot of potential for both expansion and obviously, like, between all the photo frames and the space for adding more hobby stuff and personality stuff. Like, if you use this and move your Sims in, there's plenty of opportunity to make it their own. But also, you know, there's plenty there for just enjoying. Sit outside, enjoy They must be very social, you know, because they have 2 outdoor tables. Oh, but thank you for joining me on this wonderful, wonderful ramble. If you made it to the end, give yourself a gold star, have a high five. If you like my rambly self or my builds with Spotify covering up my ramble, hey, it's all valid. Feel free to check out more.